Informed, outspoken, wild, fearless. This is the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast.
What is up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. I am joined by myself. This is my solo waiver wire show that I look forward to bringing to you every single week. This is our week 6 transactions, and I have 12 waiver ads. If you want all the waiver ads, I go more in depth on the email. Go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. Sign up for that email. There will be a link in the show notes. We are available wherever you listen to podcasts. If you don't have time for the YouTube videos, but before we get started, remember to give us a rate, give us a sub, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. If you have any questions, I'll get to those as fast as I can. So week 6, week 5's in the books. We are jumping into week 6. Starting this off like I always do, this is kind of like a pumpkin patch transactions. And that's the thing with this time of year, guys. As the leaves shift in color, the crispness of the air signals the arrival of fall. The seasons bring cooler weather. Candy corn and football season is in full swing. Fall's positivities certainly outweigh its minor inconveniences. It presents unique challenges, though, as me as a husband, as a father sometimes. The annual trip to the pumpkin patch. Guys, you know what I'm talking about. It's no good. It's one Saturday a year or Sunday a year. You and the fam got to go to the pumpkin patch and pretend you're buying local pumpkins that they haul in on a truck from miles, hours, maybe states away. Usually they come up northern, my area, Midwest, Northern America, Northern West Coast, kind of where they bring these pumpkins in. They aren't local. For all I know, they're buying them at a grocery store and they're charging you double. But you know what? They get you there and they have admission. These pumpkin patches, they've got to go. As a farmer, I hear about you guys on the East Coast and the South going apple picking. Like, what is that? I farm tree fruit. I should start charging people to pick my fruit. It is amazing that people do this kind of stuff. But the pumpkin patches fall, they happen to happen in the fall. And it's terrible. All you guys out there, you're hitting you're pounding your chest going like, this guy understands. I understand, and you single guys who don't understand, just cherish these moments. Just enjoy those flannels by yourself. You don't have to go out there and take all those pictures and all that stuff. But I'm going to bring this back into waivers. This will all make sense, and maybe you're just thinking like, hey man, chill out a little bit. Here's the deal though. Like, you're like, hey, big deal. It's 2 hours. Yeah, big deal. I'm an Oklahoma Sooners fan. Had to miss the Red River rivalry to go to the pumpkin patch. Yeah, I had fun. Yeah, I had some good food. Yeah, there was caramel apples. Yeah, candy corn, all that good stuff. But I still missed a really good game. Hey, I saw the first half. I missed the end, though. Hey, highlights aren't bad. I did have a good time. But, it's just like, it always competes with football season. Like, why can't we go to the pumpkin patch in the spring when nothing's going on? Like, I don't care if I miss a baseball game, but come on, it's football season. You know what I'm talking about? These people that are out to get us. This is attack. This is attack on modern males. This is like the alpha males. This is attack on us. I truly believe that. And honestly, have you ever pondered the origins of the pumpkin decoration trend? It makes zero sense. It's a modern day phenomenon to me. Strangely enough, the less appealing and size challenged the pumpkin, the more women are attracted to it. Despite my love for pumpkin pies and jack-o'-lanterns, the rationale behind the whole pumpkin decoration remains unattainable for my simple mind as a guy. It makes no sense. So here I am in a pumpkin patch out of self-service, rows of pumpkins with my family this past weekend, and the purpose of this tradition began to dawn on me. It was about choosing a pumpkin that looked great, but inevitably wouldn't rot quickly. Much like the career trajectory, messing up on words, of James Conner. His whole career, he looks real good, starts out real good. All of a sudden, the guy's on your IR bench, just bench fodder. And you're wondering, what am I doing with this guy? He does this to me every year. Hopefully you traded James Conner while you could still get something for him because he's hurt. And I don't know how long he's out. I'm not a doctor. I just see stuff online. But anyways, yeah, it's pumpkin patches, fantasy football. The two go hand in hand. You got to find those gems that are going to last. So maybe you find this great looking pumpkin, but it's about to rot. Just like James Conner. It's also about identifying the pumpkin that offered the best value, similar to David Montgomery's underappreciated talents this draft season. The guy's going off. Everyone was talking about Jahmyr Gibbs. We got David Montgomery, old faithful. Jordan made fun of me saying he was the best value in the 10th round. Jordan put him on his fantasy team. Jordan's, 4-1. Jordan gives me 0 credit. David Montgomery, that's value right there. You got to find that pumpkin that can just last on your doorstep or on your table. Anyone else's wives put those little tiny squatty pumpkins on the table? It's all like, oh no, it's cute. It's like, well, you think I'd be cute if I was squatty? And never mind, this is getting too close to home. But anyways, the lesson from the pumpkin patch experience is a universal one to me. Sometimes we must just embrace the tasks we don't particularly enjoy, whether it's attending a pumpkin patch during the Red River rivalry or including Sam Howell in your Thursday night football lineup. The right decision isn't always the most gratifying. People came after me about Terry McLaurin's start. I did say Sam Howell was my stream of the week last week, and he went off. And he should have thrown the ball to Terry McLaurin. It was terrible. But if you're listening to this with a sense of frustration, perhaps realizing you've been avoiding your own pumpkin patch adventure, prepare yourself for that family outing now. Maybe your wife let you bring some headphones and you can listen to this on the drive. You know what I mean? Does anyone else's wife, my wife doesn't let me do it, but maybe your wife lets, put in AirPods while the kids are in the back complaining, having a good time on the way to the pumpkin patch. Who knows? But, don't get frustrated. Just get it over with and get some good food. This might help you understand the strategic decisions in fantasy football where we look beyond appearances and discover hidden potential. In conclusion, as we welcome the delightful autumn season, let's wholeheartedly embrace its quirks and even those dudes that like wearing Uggs. Like, what's up with those guys, man? You're wearing Uggs. I wear Crocs. I'm wearing Crocs right now while I record this pod. Crocs are for, that's for just, that's like, middle class. That's what Crocs are. I got fuzzy Crocs. They're way better than Crocs. So, sorry with the rant. I know you're all here for waivers. So let's get it going here right now. We have our week 6 waivers. And if you haven't checked it out, don't miss our whole week 5 recap where I just, cry about the Dallas Cowboys, all that good fantasy football stuff. Wherever you listen to podcasts, remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Really helps us out, guys. Now, let's get into our week. We're at week 6 waivers. So let's explore this waiver pumpkin patch. Looking for the top waiver wire additions for week 6. Here are my favorite waiver wire options with roster percentages below 68% on Sleeper. If you want the ultimate fantasy football experience, consider switching your league to Sleeper today. They also have some exciting picks. If you use the promo code DUDES100, they'll match up to $100. Rankings are half-point PPR with the help of PFF, and they were done before Monday Night Football concluded. All right. First on the list, I got Matthew Stafford. This 54% roster is set to benefit from Cooper Kupp's return. Remember how good Kupp and Stafford were after they started having breakfast together every morning? Now they have a podcast. It's called 9 to Dime. Listen to it sometime, maybe if you're bored after you're done listening to us. Of course, Stafford's my stream of the week. Should maintain his consistency throughout the year if he can stay injury-free. Matthew Stafford, pick him up. Next on my list, I have Sam Howell, 36% rostered. Maybe not the prettiest choice, but he's currently QB 14 on the season and faces Atlanta this week. Imagine the potential if he can get Terry McLaurin involved. Third on the list, I have Gardner Minshew, 4% rostered, steps into the starting role to replace the injured Anthony Richardson. Gardner's had a touchdown in each of his starting appearances. So going back over that list, I have Matt Stafford, my stream of the week, Sam Howell, currently QB 14 on the season, and Gardner Minshew, who has a touchdown in each of his starting appearances. And let this be a reminder, check the waiver wire. Who got dropped? Sometimes good guys get dropped. Maybe somebody rage dropped Jordan Love because the Packers lost tonight and he threw 3 interceptions. Not sure who the Packers are playing at the moment, but always check who gets dropped in your league. People rage drop, all kinds of stuff like that. Maybe Jackson Smith-Njigba got dropped because he was on a bye. Just giving a rookie example right there, guys. So always check the waiver wire, see who is dropped, see who's on there. You know, all that good stuff. All right, next, we are heading over to our running backs. And honestly, the leaves are falling. The leaves are changing color. You can smell that pumpkin spice latte. Why not head over to Manscaped, guys, where you can get 20% off your whole entire order. Promo code DUDES20, Lawnmower 4.0. It's got a flashlight, all that good stuff. Head over to Manscaped. Tell them the dude sent you. 20% off your whole entire order. These boxers are really good. They're soft. They don't ride. They aren't like Broncos country. They don't ride. What can I say? Manscaped, promo code DUDES20. Check it out. And if you're listening on the podcast, go ahead and check this out on the YouTube. Give us a follow. Give us a thumbs up at tffdudes. All right, running backs. Good running back list. Like I said, not all the running backs I'm going to be given on this pod. You're going to have to go sign up for the email. For those of you who are not good at reading like myself, I am sorry. But hey, I can't give you guys everything. Come on. Don't be rude. Share the dudes. Imari DiMercato, probably butchering this guy's name. Backup running back for James Conner. Remember the pumpkin that, rotted inside? That's kind of harsh, honestly. 2% rostered. Had an impressive performance with 10 carries for 45 yards and a touchdown against the Bengals. Could see more action depending on the severity of Conner's knee injury. Maybe something's happened since Monday Night Football. As of right now, we do not know. Imari DiMercato should be rostered. Pick him up. Next on the list, Roschon Johnson, 51% rostered despite a concussion during Thursday Night Football. Had a little extra time to heal, get out of the concussion protocol. Has a chance to return this week versus Minnesota. This is a good matchup for Roschon Johnson. 51% rostered on Sleeper, guys. Go check the waiver wire for your boy, Roschon. Next on the list, I have Jaleel McLaughlin. 54% rostered. Showed explosiveness with 9 carries for 68 yards and a receiving touchdown. However, he faces a tough matchup this week versus the Chiefs. Think this might be a Samaje Perine game. Perine did lead the Broncos in receiving yards as a running back. Monitor the situation. I got some more guys on this list, but you're going to have to sign up at www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com to get this delivered right to your email at midnight. Just like pumpkins, that pumpkin on Cinderella, midnight, boom. Turn into a pumpkin. I don't know where I'm going with this. Sorry. I really want some candy corn. I'm craving it. It's a little treat we got in our house. I wish I was eating candy corn while I was doing the pod, but I don't think anyone wants to hear me smacking. All right. And I got stashes on that email. So check that out. And let me just give you, just throw it up here. Everybody I just recap. Running backs, Imario DiMercato. Is that right? Man. Roschon Johnson, Jaleel McLaughlin, that just sounds like a running back to me, guys. All right, wide receivers are next. Here we go. I'm going to throw it over to these guys. And before I throw it over to these guys, remember, Trophy Smack. Best place to get your fantasy football trophies, all kinds of trophies, actually. It's great. Go to trophysmack.com/dudes. 15% off your whole entire order. You're checking this out on YouTube. I'm holding this belt up, WWE belt on my shoulder. Look at all that bling right there. Dino Dudes got some brass knuckles. Undisputed champion right there. This is for our Dynasty League. This is Seth's belt. I hate that he leaves it in my house. I think it's kind of a jerk move, if you ask me. Like, just rub it in my face that you won the league. Pay at your house, but hey, looks good on YouTube. So what can I say? Wide receivers thrown over here. Let me get this big WWE belt, for all you WWE guys out there. They got last place trophies too. www.trophysmack.com/dudes. All right. Wide receivers. First on the list, I have Curtis Samuel, 27% rostered. Might be taking over as the team's number 2 pass catcher, boasting back-to-back performances of 14-plus points. Currently, wide receiver 32 on the season. Next, Jordan's boy, Rashee Rice, 48% rostered. Caught 4 of 5 targets for 33 yards and a touchdown. Could be the most reliable receiver for Mahomes right now. Could this be like not a Tyreek Hill replacement, but a good pass catcher that's not a tight end, not named Travis Kelce for the Chiefs? Rashee Rice. He has a favorable matchup this week against Denver. Could see a bigger role if Kelce does not suit up. Next on the list, I have KJ Osborne, 16% rostered. 9 targets. He caught 5 of them. Worth considering this week against Chicago if Jefferson is sidelined with a hamstring injury. Again, monitor the situation. So going back over all those wide receivers I had, Curtis Samuel, back-to-back performances of 14 points, might be the team's number 2. Rashee Rice, maybe a bigger role. KJ Osborne, worth considering with the hamstring injury to Justin Jefferson. All right, tight ends, my favorite right here. Here we go. I have Cole Kmet, 68% rostered, caught all 5 of his targets for a touchdown, and now has back-to-back games with TDs, ranking tight end number 3 on the season, and he's only 68% rostered on Sleeper. And again, all these rankings are done half-point PPR by PFF. Number 2, I have Dalton Schultz, 44% rostered, led the Texans in catches against Atlanta, and has a back-to-back games with TD receptions, sitting as tight end 11 on the season. Last I got with Travis Kelce nursing an ankle injury and a short week ahead for the Chiefs. Thursday Night Football, Noah Gray, 5% rostered, could be in the spotlight if Kelce doesn't play. Mahomes loves tight ends. Noah Gray, hey, it's a short week. Kelce's ankle's messed up. He didn't just shake it off. He shook it off, but he's short week, no fun with a rolled bummed ankle. I think Noah Gray might play. If Kelce says he's playing, you got to play Kelce. I got 2 more tight ends on this list that you're going to have to check out on the email, though, guys. So if you enjoyed this whole episode, guys, be sure to check out your weekly. Check us out on podcast. Give us a follow on Twitter at tffdudes, guys. Really helps us out. I enjoy these solo pods. Again, have you any questions? Drop your comments at the bottom on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the like. All that good stuff. And I will see you on Thursday with our Start and Sits episode. Don't miss our week 5 recap, guys. Always good stuff when all the dudes get together. Well, I'll see you next time. And as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.